It is the 19th of February 2022. I'm Scott Allen Miller. This is my daily vlog of life here in León, Nicaragua. Today is Saturday, and we were supposed to go out to the beach to our hotel in Las Piñas and work at the hotel with the new space that we're really excited about. Yvonne is supposed to be back today, but our schedule ended up being such that we waited for her much of the day, and she didn't arrive from Managua until much later. She was in Managua because of all the paperwork for the new space at the hotel with the owner of the space, because we are leasing. So we were dealing with that, so she got stuck there. We weren't able to do that today. So we spent a lot of the day just kind of hanging around at the house in León, being like, oh, we're about to go. We think we're gonna go. Maybe we're gonna go really soon. And then we didn't. But so we thought it was gonna be that kind of day, and it ended up being a day where we just did pretty much nothing. Now, before I do too much of the show, I'm gonna turn around and just get a shot of how many people are watching me film the show right now. There's a lot of people who are all kind of wondering what I'm doing. As was like most days, because, you know, I'm always out here in the middle. I can't get away from people. It's just much more interesting when you realize that I do a lot to kind of put no one in the background, but I'm actually in a lot of people. And I don't know if you can see, there's a school directly across the street, and its schoolyard is full. And I'm next to a basketball court over on this side with people playing either basketball or soccer. I can't tell from without looking. So we spent a lot of the day just hanging out and waiting to see what was going to happen. Liesl did start playing Earthbound today. Now, this is really cool because Earthbound is one of my all-time favorite video games. I played it somewhere around 1995, I think, and it was for the Super Nintendo. It is the most expensive game I ever purchased. I think I spent about $80 to get it. This is when I'm a teenager. I was like 19 years old. $80, and this is way back when, so this is probably a $200, $300 game today. But it looked really interesting. I bought it for the Super Nintendo, which I'd only just gotten in 1994, and loved. It was like my favorite system. Like, it was kind of the pinnacle of consoles for me. It was a lot of fun. I really liked Secret of Mana, which I already had for that. But I got Earthbound, and I started playing it, and it was really interesting because it came with the complete guide. So it was designed for you not to get stuck. And it also came with a scratch and sniff pad. So you have like this olfactory experience along with the game. It's really interesting. But I got it and I started playing, and I got about 2 hours in, and I called Josh, who lived right down the street, and I said, Josh, who would later be my roommate, and I said, Josh, this game is so cool, you gotta go get it. So he ran to the store and bought it too, came home, and we played it side by side over the phone over the course of a weekend, and beat it in like 3 days. We just loved it. We had so much fun that the game was fun. We had so much fun playing it together. It was one of our very first ever like collaborative gaming experiences, and because it had that kind of cheat book or guidebook that came with it, it really gave you an opportunity to not get stuck. Sorry for the shadows. This is kind of hard to record out here today with how harsh the light is. I mean, it's beautiful, but and I'm here at the La Iglesia de Barrio, and so we played that, and we just loved it. It was such a great experience, and it's such an important part of gaming history. So I really want Liesl to play it because she's really into that style of game. She's really interested in making that kind of game in the future, and it's a good piece of history, and it's a great piece of gaming storytelling. People still rave about how excellent this game is so many years later. So I really want her to play it. So she started playing it, and she's really enjoying it. So that was a chunk of the day, was her doing that. During the day, once I knew I had a bit of time and probably was not heading out to the beach, I went and did a long photo walk. Liesl didn't feel like photo walking with me today, so I took the Olympus PEN E-PL9, which is my favorite photo walking camera ever, actually, and popped on the nifty 50, the 25mm f1.8 tonneh 1.8, and did a photo walk through Zaragoza, which is the northern. If you go from Barrio, cross north over Ruben Darío, you go into Zaragoza, and then I went north and west. I went into Democracia, and then came back through the corner of Subtiaba back to Barrio, and had a really nice walk. I got kind of lost, did a bunch of walking, just kind of discovered different areas. I'd never been over through any of that area. I'd definitely never been to Democracia. Had only seen a little bit of Zaragoza in the past. Boy, it's windy out here today. And so it was really interesting because when you go to the north side of Ruben Darío, which is the main Calle Real coming through the middle of the city, you really feel The neighborhoods change. You get different architecture completely. It actually feels totally different. And there were parts of Zaragoza, especially, that I just love. These beautiful little neighborhoods with these little streets that didn't really go through, and like tree lined and beautiful sidewalks, and just absolutely gorgeous. It was amazing how interesting it was up there and how different it felt than our neighborhoods down here of Barrio, Subtiava, and Guadalupe. So very, very interesting. It's neat that León, in such a small walkable space, has so much variety. I didn't do a lot of photography today. Did about 112 photographs, but I think quite a few of them turned out not too bad. I love working with that camera. 25mm is a little bit hard for photo walking, so it's a little bit of a challenge. I really think that the sweet spot is between about 24 and 35mm, with 28 being, and there's a reason why people tend to use 28 mils. It's just really easy. The pancake lens, the body cap lens that Liesl and I used the other day, is a 15 on a 4/3, which is the equivalent of a 30mm, which falls really close to the 28. And I bought the 9mm, which is the equivalent of an 18, which is going to be really wide, fisheye, for doing it. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun for photo walks. That has already shipped. I think it may have already arrived, and I just have to wait for Paul to get to Houston and pick it up, which he's supposed to do pretty soon. The other thing that happened today, before I went for the photo walk, is that the billiards table finally got set up today. Finally. So I did a time lapse of that, hooked up the GoPro, the one I'm on, the GoPro Hero 9, and filmed most of the process. The battery didn't last for all of it, but really close, and you got to see them assemble the whole thing and top it and level it and do most of it. Very interesting. So I will try to link to that at the end of today's video. So obviously that was a really big thing this morning that we did that. We knew we were going to do that. Dominic and I thought we were going to run to the beach while Paul waited and dealt with that, but we didn't end up going to the beach at all today, so it didn't matter. So we got to see that happen. I spent a lot of the evening just stepping on nails. I actually stepped on 11 nails throughout the course of the evening and picked up like 20 or 30. A little bit much, but that was a big event of the day. So that and the photo walk. And then this evening, when it came around time for dinner, Dominica didn't really feel like going out anywhere. The kids were like, Liesl was like, I guess I'll do pizza. Luciana wanted pizza. She really liked Emmanuel pizza that we did the other night. So we said, okay, we'll go out. So Saeed came over. He was in town, so he came over to shoot pool with Paul. Dominica and I went out, and it took over an hour to get dinner because it's Saturday night in León. So every restaurant is quite busy. We started at Emmanuel, ordered our pizzas, and then we walked down to the Papas Asadas place that Dominica loves so much. They had no Papa Asadas. They're a Papas Asadas place. They're not the place I get Papas Asadas. They're a Papas Asadas place. That is their food. A huge sign, Papas Asadas, with every meal. No matter what you order, you're getting Papas Asadas. They ran out of Papas Asadas. They didn't have any at all. Them running out of Papas Asadas is like McDonald's running out of salt. Like, what do you even do? I don't know. So we got some gallo pinto, and she got like a tortilla or something, and I was like, yeah. We went back. We ended up sitting at Emmanuel for like 40 minutes waiting for food. Oh, I should mention the Papas Asadas place knew me when I got there because I buy that many potatoes, and not just, I go really often, and when I go, I get these absurdly large orders of potatoes that they don't know how to deal with. So I went, and with Dominica tonight, and they saw me, and they're like, oh, we're really sorry. We mischarged you last night. We're really undercharged you a lot. And I was like, I was wondering. It was really cheap potatoes yesterday, so I had to pay extra to cover for yesterday's potatoes. But they recognized me as soon as I got there. They knew who I was. So it took about an hour and 10 minutes to get pizza. We walked back and ate that at the house, and that was pretty much the evening. Nothing too exciting. The kids mostly went on, did their own thing. We did some introducing of the cat with the dogs tonight, which mostly went okay, better than it could have. The cat did end up in a tree, but that's kind of important. The cat needs to know it can go in the tree, and that when the dogs leave, it can come down and go into the room and everything be chill. So Luciana kind of felt like it was a disaster that the cat ended up in the tree, and I'm like, what were you expecting to happen? I thought that was the game plan, to have the cat in the tree so it knew it was safe because the dogs couldn't get to it. So it's gonna take a little while before they all get used to each other, but I think it was a step in the right direction. It was good overall. So that was our Saturday. Tomorrow, on Sunday, we're definitely heading out to the beach. We're gonna be there a ton, possibly all day. The kids won't. They're tired of moving back and forth. They're gonna stay at the house. They're very much preferring the house in Leon overall. It gives them a lot more space. The dogs can run free. They have the cat there. They're able to have their stuff. They have their own rooms. Like, it's working out a lot better in general, but we haven't completely moved yet. So part of the reason it works out so well is that some of their stuff is still back to the hotel. That makes it a little bit easy. Wait until we bring everything over. It's gonna be a little bit packed, but we're getting there. We're figuring it out. We're starting to put things in the bodega at the house, and that's helping. Certainly when we go back to the hotel, there's like all this open space. Like, oh my gosh, you can move around. The bedrooms have space. Like the kids' room has lots of space. The office where Dominica and I live has loads of space. Our shelves are open. You can move things around and everything. So that's good. And tomorrow when we go, I'm gonna load up as much stuff as I can get. I'm bringing the bulk of the cameras back. I'm bringing all the extra computer stuff, but not my main one. That's gonna wait for a little bit yet. But all the like extra camera stuff, I've got, you know, lenses and gimbals and just all that kind of stuff, and extra electronics and cabling and networking gear, anything like that. I'm gonna try to bring back and keep at the house where we just have more space so we can get out of everybody's way. The hotel is set to explode with activity, and it's time for us to just step out of the way and let it all happen. So our plan tomorrow is totally focused on the hotel. We will probably be there a lot of the day. And we're looking forward just to getting to eat in our own restaurant again. It's funny, now that we've been spending most of a year eating there almost every meal, going away for several days, you're like, I really miss our food and the convenience of it all, and the views and everything else. So it should be fun being back tomorrow. But we really like Leon. It has been so much fun. And it's really great being able to share this with all of you. The membership here on the show is just exploding. I can't believe how many new people, and it's really awesome that today is the day that I really noticed the conversation started kicking off. There's real, you know, everybody's getting down there in the comments and talking about whether it's immigrating to Nicaragua or coming to visit or hotels or investing or what land costs or just what it takes to come here, what is it really like. That's so awesome. I'm really looking forward to more conversation about that, more conversation about cameras and vlogging, because that's my other thing that I'm really passionate about, and it's just been great. So thank you. Please remember to like and subscribe. I will wait here for a second while you go down there. The subscribe button, I think, it's right down here, so feel free, just go down there and hit that and give it a like. Watch some of the other videos. Watch the pool video. That's actually on another channel, but go watch that too. I have lots of channels. And thanks so much for joining me, and I will see all of you tomorrow.